race, so we'll figure it out. The runners are getting started. While they grab their big 20 out of Link's house, I'm Reg. My partner tonight is Shiku. And our runners are Jedders and Etium. And I think I saw a sword on the Lake Hylia island. And this being overworld glitches, Etium's going to be able to get that right away as long as that guard doesn't get in his way.
Jeddar's going for the Sahasrala's hut stuff. He doesn't need bombs, you can just bonk the back wall.
Right, super convenient that way. And this is actually a check I'm a big fan of in glitchless logics, which are my specialty, but there's a flute in there. I don't think that's really needed, but always fun.
Not necessary at all in overworld glitches, but good to get around.
Yeah, so flute on one side, sword on the other.
So Jeddar's going to be going without sword for a while, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't check that island, has no idea that... we'll see him maybe eventually. Because at the very...
Etium is making the same check now too, in the hut.
Right, so he'll grab that flute, but I'm thinking at the very least, they would probably want to make the normal fake flipper minor glitch checks, stuff like Hobo, the waterfall fairy, and whatnot? Or is that less of a thing in overworld glitches?
Oh, it's absolutely a thing in overworld glitches. You can do it pretty easily, so it's early in logic.
Yeah, so he'll probably spot the sword on the island when he goes for those checks.
Getting the forest stuff. Gonna swing around through here down to Kakariko after.
There's a bug net for Jedders. I think he could kill Aghanim if he was willing to get up there somehow, but pretty sure the only requirement on that in overworld glitches is if this lumberjack check had anything, which it does. That's a cane.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're going to be seeing runners kill Aghanim this seed, and since this is out of all glitches, they're gonna have to climb the tower normally. Which means that bug net doesn't actually help. You have to have the sword to get back into the back.
Sword or the cape?
Well, no, you still have to cut the curtain, right?
Oh yeah. There are glitches to get past the Aghanim's tower barrier without sword or cape, but I don't think those are in logic.
Learn something new every day when you're talking about glitch modes, at least for me.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of crazy niche stuff you don't see very often. Doing the pull tree for bombs on Etium's side.
I didn't catch what tier of tree pull that was, but it was still 32 bombs.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah, and Etium knows what tier that was, so he can get those whenever he wants. Oh, so yeah, I'm getting called out. There are scenarios where we won't need the Cane of Samaria we saw in the Lumberjack tree. I think they're pretty niche and unlikely scenarios, with one pendant already known to not be Misery Mire, and Ganon's Tower being a much bigger factor in overworld glitches than it is in no glitches.
Yeah,
but
No, go ahead.
I was just going to finish. There are there are scenarios in which we don't see Aghanim killed. Just
Yeah,
not very many.
On No Glitches logic for Ganon's Tower, there's actually a special junk fill phase in the algorithm that normally puts 0 to 15 junk items there before doing the rest of the placement. In glitch logic, since you can get to Ganon's Tower so early, there isn't any junk fill phase, so there's a lot more useful items there.
So that's what, 27 full item checks you can get in there?
Well, there's 27 There's 27 checks, but there's 7 dungeon items. So unless
so
you're
20...
on Keys, yeah, unless you're on Key Sound.
Still ridiculously effective and far more dense than any other location in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
We did see a Bombos medallion in the back of the tavern. I think medallions are only really required A, to enter Misery Mire, because you can flip around into Turtle Rock, if I remember correctly, and B, maybe Bombos to kill Freezeor's Ice Palace.
Yeah, there's a mirror clip into the Turtle Rock middle entrance that's in logic, and there's a mirror screen wrap to the bottom entrance that isn't in logic, but I'm pretty sure that's permitted by the race rules.
So, Turtle Rock, it's a lot like Inverted with the mirror, but honestly, probably easier for these runners that know what they're doing, because they don't have to manipulate worlds and all that jazz.
Yeah, inverted Turtle Rock logic is actually very similar to the major glitches logic. It's actually identical for a few checks, since you can just mirror to the middle and lower. And Jedders is clipping down to the desert from the maze race.
We saw the clip from Etium to the Hylia Island earlier at the very start of the race, but since then, they basically just did the Kakariko checks, no glitches involved. So,
Trying to get that line upright. There he goes. Jumps down, and you can get to the ledge and the left end. Just some rupees on the ledge.
that's pretty convenient. Who needs a flute when you can just do that?
Yeah. And there's another clip you can do to get behind the liftable rocks if he needs to.
So that means all you really need is a fire source and a weapon to clear this dungeon logically.
And Pyramid Fairy is junk according to the hint. That's always good to know.
I remember if I remember correctly from watching previous Overworld glitches races, there is a clip into that Pyramid Fairy. It's just sort of finicky, right?
Yeah, there's you do a screen wrap in the Dark World, which messes up the way the game regards your position, and it lets you move around to where the Pyramid Fairy entrance is and place a portal there. Because the game regards you as being on some screens in some regards and a different screen in a different regard. So you can place it where you normally wouldn't be able to. And then you just take the portal from the light world and it puts you right at the entrance.
And if I recall, that's basically the same mechanism that we'll probably see these guys use to get into Tower of Hera and Ganon's Tower once they're up on the mountain. Is that right?
Yes, they do the same sort of screen wrap clip, but they don't really move around much on the screens. They just get themselves out of the wall they clip into and then climb up the stairs. So it's more simple.
Alright, that's good to know. And as somebody without much glitch experience myself, I am all for the simplicity.
Oh yeah, they're very basic and you use them a lot in Overworld glitch. The Pyramid Fairy is a lot more situational.
We've got both these guys in Desert Palace, in the same room even. Although Etium was showing off how much faster the sword was to kill those popos than the bombs that Jedders was using, so
Oh
Advantage to
yeah,
him for now.
doing things swordless definitely makes it harder. It looks like they're both going for Agona's Cave.
Yeah, nothing of value in the front of desert, so it's just good, efficient routing to do this here.
And they don't have the fire source required to do the back, so they're not going to do that.
Yeah, we did see both the map and the compass in the front, though, which means Landmolas is holding an item for whenever they want to go back. On the other hand, we haven't seen a map check yet that I've seen, so we don't know if there's a crystal or a pendant
Etium
from that
clipping up
dungeon.
to get to I was going to K45. Did a sword. Oh, nice sword. He's ready to do Aghanim if he needs to. Jeddar's missing out on all that sword love.
Yep, which may see that come into play later. We've already seen Etium save time in a couple rooms from having that sword. Now he's just got an even better one. Although it's looking like they're back in sync, with Etium having to take the long way around back to the dam because he doesn't have the gloves. So, I don't know if there was a clip he could have used to get around that or what, but if there was, he didn't go for it.
There's a spin speed clip you can do, but since it's on it's on a convex wall instead of a concave wall, you don't really get an easy setup for it. So that's why you might not have done. Bombing the mini molars is always fun.
Yeah, that one that got stuck in the bottom left there, though, just completely screwing him up. And now he's only got 2 bombs for 3
Oh,
molars.
got some bombs up. Lucky him.
That he needed that real bad, but he got it, and that's all that matters in the end.
Oh, he's got
Meanwhile,
shields.
yeah,
Except shields suck in this game.
Etium again showing off how much time that sword is saving him in combat situation, with sword beams just tearing through the mold worms here. And we're going to see an actual flute usage.
Going for Ice Rod Cave, and then I think they might be planning to get a water walk off the Ice Rod Cave exit in order to check the Fake Flipper's water walk spot.
Yeah, that with the boots, they can set up the water walk and then get into the Waterfall of Wishing without the Moon Pearl, which is something I feel like a lot of runners don't think about in the moment, although maybe Overworld glitches player. Oh, Jedders didn't set it up.
Okay. Not set it up right. His flute. Etium is doing it, but Jedders was fluting out somewhere.
Yeah, I'm curious whether Etium will take this and just dash to Hobo with it, or if he'll take it to the waterfall first. Because I was saying the waterfall, I feel like a lot of no glitches players don't consider this one as much as they should.
Waterfall is definitely the right play, because if he gets Hobo, he can only get fake flippers off the Hobo, so he can't check the Waterfall Fairy after.
Right. And he's got 800 rupees. We're going to see King Zora.
Yeah, he's gonna get a life lesson. Oh, hammer on the ledge. So maybe we get to see a fun clip up there.
I'd pay 500 rupees to see that.
Yeah, he'll get reduced to fake flippers after talking to the king, and then not sure if he can do the clip from there. Oh no, he's saving. He'll have to come back for that later.
Well, he knows it's there and he can reach it, so.
Yeah, if he had Pearl, he could have gone back to the Waterfall Fairy for a water walk and then clipped up there, but he can't without that. And he's going to Death Mountain now. Oh no, my bad. Oh, he's getting the water lock again.
He wants that hammer.
It's a good item.
Yeah, it changes his mind though, it looks like.
And this is one of the easier caves to navigate in the dark. Jedders clipping out to get to the east side.
It looks really weird when you're facing south and you jump to the northeast. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, there are some funky ledges out of bounds.
Well, Paradox Cave, 7 items, most dense non-dungeon location in the game.
Really
Doesn't
good
have
place.
anything of real value in the first.
Bombing more mole arms. Always a fun time. Taking the suicide bombing route, which makes things a lot easier to just walk up to them and eat the damage. And he's got the health for it.
It's like that rat in the sewers of the escape sequence. I'll take the guaranteed damage every time.
And he got flippers, which is good if he needs to do Swamp Palace.
Yeah, it'll let him get that hammer real easy too.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, on
when he
Etium's
comes up.
side, we saw a fun hint. There's a unique item in Turtle Rock.
Ooh. Checking the floating island. I thought he.
I just saw her, but it was brief.
He wants that fairy, but unfortunately he doesn't have the hook shot or a boomerang to do the easy fairy grab. Because there's a minor glitch there where you can hook shot a boomerang at the top left corner of the bonk rocks, and then you bonk it and you immediately get the fairy, which is pretty nice.
I actually wasn't aware of that, but yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, it grabs an invisible sprite for the fairy before it spawns.
May have saved him a lot of getting bullied around by those dead rocks, too.
Oh, definitely. Ooh, half magic. Not necessary, but it's very nice.
Yeah. He can use it right now just with the powder, but...
Oh, etium doing the west to right side land bridge there. Very convenient for getting between the two sides without the hammer. And even more convenient in the Dark World where the top sides aren't connected at all.
Let's see, Jedders is checking the flipper location that Etium initially skipped, so this is a new check.
Doing the hobo, because he has the flippers now, so he doesn't need to worry about keeping track of waterwalk or fake flipper. And it's a good, nice little 20.
Gotta imagine he'll be running right along the King's Aura after this, though.
And he'll be picking up that hammer.
Actually, no. He may be grabbing that sword on the island now.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's going for the island.
Then after that, he can jump off the island and go straight to Zora if he wants to, or flute somewhere else if he doesn't.
Doing what Scudge calls a funny auto walk thing. Sort of glitch transition that scrolls him a whole screen. And now he's going for the waterfall in Zora's domain. He's going to be grabbing that hammer, which could pay off for him pretty nicely.
Yeah, especially because he won't have to come back to that area like Etium will later.
Yeah, he gets it all in one go.
think that flippers will send him right back though, so not a. I mean, it's a time loss, but it's not a big one. Etium is trying to clip somewhere. Will this take him to Zora's domain?
Oh yeah, this clips down to Zora's domain from above.
Okay, so that's going to be his hammer as soon as he runs over to it.
Yeah. Basically, in Overworld glitches, Zora's domain and the catfish are more or less part of Death Mountain.
Yeah, if you just look at the overworld map, you can see that they're fairly close together. There's just nothing linking them. But when you can clip, you don't care about that. You just go wherever you please. I think at this point, both runners are pretty much at parity besides Etium's Master Sword. So we'll see something new from them here, I
Jedder's
think.
going for the old man.
Looked like Etium may have gotten an infinite scroll there and had to just reset out of it. I think that's what happened, at least. It's what it looked like to me.
I looked away for a second, unfortunately.
Yeah, he couldn't even save and quit out of it. He just hard reset.
Yeah, that's one of the risks of doing clipping and screen wraps and transitions stuff. If you go into a transition improperly when you're screen wrapped, it can put you in infinite scrolling situation.
Good news for him is that he had just save and quit out of getting his hammer, so
Clipping
not
to
a real
garbage
loss.
ledge. I never get anything good from graveyard ledge. It's always so disappointing. Jedder's going for Tower.
He can clear it, so actually, can he, or was the big... No, the big key's in the basement. They need fire.
It depends. Oh.
No, we saw Etium do this earlier and couldn't go any further.
Yeah. He needs a fire source.
Means we're going to be seeing the tile room, which... never fun.
Yeah, you get to sit on one of those blue pegs for half a minute while tiles uselessly fly. It's the height of entertainment.
It's like the 7th inning stretch in a baseball game. Except there's no fun music.
He's gonna, I think, clip on top of Total Rock and hammer the pegs. Yes, he is. Etium getting the... Oh no, he's just taking it as a way down. Did he get stuck? I think he got himself.
I think he was...
no,
he's in the King's Tomb.
Yeah. He got himself free and he's going into the King's Tomb. And Jedders is checking the medallion required for Total Rock.
Which, that was a bombos. Not that it's needed there, but...
And
you get
he's
bunny
gonna
music, too.
He's gonna do Super Bunny Cave, so called because if you just do it, you automatically get a free Super Bunny when you jump, which lets you pick up all the items.
Easiest minor glitch in the game. Boom. But I'm glad we're getting to hear the bunny music here, just because it is my favorite track in the game.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one. which you don't get to hear too much in races because people usually get the pearl first.
Right. Etium got cursed with a very slightly heavier wallet, but doesn't mean anything to him, and he's gonna go somewhere.
Both back at his house.
This might be Aghanim play after he clears out the rest of the castle.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for escape and maybe Aghanim. Going for the secret passage first, of course. Let's see what Link's Diangle has. Oh, he's rich. Ooh, that's a good one. The mirror.
Yeah, that enables some silly things.
It's not as necessary for mirror spots in overworld glitches, but it does allow some glitches in its own right that are very useful, like mirror clips and mirror wrap. There are also mirror jumps, which are extremely dumb, and I doubt we'll be seeing them.
Let's see, the front of escape here, in addition to the two they already got out of the Uncle Tunnel, somewhere between 1 and 3 checks, depending on where the small key and the map are. And then, actually, if the small key is in the front, they can go all the way through to the back if they really want to.
Well, they already got the map from the sanctuary, so you know where that is. But if they don't find the small key in the front, which is possible and open, then they need to drop around from the back at the grave.
Yeah. Thanks for correcting me on that map. I forgot that it was already picked up at the very start of the game. So, between 2 and 3 checks, and then up to 4 more if they want to go further. So, good number of items to be had here. All of them useless so far.
Getting out that hammer to smash this guy good. It's a good weapon in its own right if you can get used to the bad frames and
Yeah, it's a little unwieldy, but it's strongest thing they've got by far right now. Aside from Bombos Medallion, but that's just slow, and who likes being slow?
Yeah, Bombos is definitely a desperation move.
Hey, a unique item in Zelda's cell.
Lovely. Best hint in the game.
Luckily, that means that's not the unique item we'll be seeing in Turtle Rock.
And Jedders is not doing the dark rooms, perhaps because it's out of logic, even in overworld glitches.
Lamp logic is always optional in my book, but always a thing by the actual logic, so no need to force yourself if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's a risk hoping that the dark cross room has a key, because if it doesn't, then you can't go through to the back, so it's not a bad play to just leave if he didn't have, because he doesn't have the key for it already.
Even if it's not the key, it could be a useful item in its own right.
True, and it's a definite gamble.
Looks like he may be slightly lost looking for the chest.
Yeah, that just could be a bit annoying to find.
Resorting to the Bombos Medallion to kill off all the rats and snakes down there.
And Jedders is doing hair clip.
Oh, that was an item, alright. That was a moon pearl in that dark cross.
Oh, he's going straight for the portal, I think. Yep. Not even resetting the scroll. Is he doing the big fairy setup? This looks like the big fairy. But we got a hint. Yeah, he is. But we got a hint that it's Chunk, so he's going to be very disappointed.
I am fairly confident he saw that hit too. It was in Desert Palace.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why he's doing it. But then he went in the old man's cave to fix the camera, and he's gonna float down and go in the portal which has been placed in near Hyrule Castle. So this is gonna be a big time waste. Which of course the audience can get a kick out of, but it's not so good for him.
I'm getting a kick out of it just because I'm actually getting to see how it's done, but
Yeah, I think he placed
it is
the portal.
unfortunate.
Does seem like he placed the portal too far to the right. And he also needs to be facing north as he goes in the portal. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, and every time he fails this glitch, it's just additional time lost, unfortunately.
Now he's facing properly. And that should get him in. There he goes. Oh, he just used it to get to that particular place in the Dark World. Checking the pyramid item, maybe?
Yeah.
That's a weird way around it. But it does work.
Oh, here's our map check. We've got a pendant at Swamp Palace and our 5-6 at Pod and Ice Palace.
And also we've got a couple of pendants at places with a bunch of checks. So that's not...
Yeah. We do have one pendant in the Light World. We had issues with the stream earlier, so the Light World map checks may have happened during that. Which means we may not know which of those Light World dungeons is the pendant until the other two crystals drop.
He is going to be going to Palace of Darkness, and once he gets in, he's going to kill himself for the dungeon revive to turn back in.
I guess that'll work. It'll get him into the dungeon, let him check at least a few places. So with the bow, or without the bow... Actually, no, he's got a green potion in that bottle,
Yes.
so...
With the green potion, he can break the transition and let him scroll the camera and get the mimics off screen. And because how kill rooms work is they count everything killed if all the enemies are off screen, it lets him get through without killing the mimic.
Yeah, so he can get as far into that dungeon as he wants once he gets inside, but it's going to be Eastern Palace first for him.
Yeah.
And I did notice when he was the bunny, Kiki wasn't following him. Is there a clip or something to get inside, or is he going to need to go grab...
There is a clip, but that's not allowed by the rules, and Kiki doesn't follow you if you're a bunny, I think.
So he's hoping to find a moon pearl then here, I guess?
I would guess so.
Well, we know he's not going to find one, so that's just unlucky.
Yes, music is tied to the pendant and crystal, unless you're in Keys Town, in which case it's randomized, so you can't use it as a hint to find out what type of dungeon it is.
And of course, this is not Key Sanity, so... It means the music is not lying to us.
Etium over in Skull Woods.
Actually, wait, with the music not lying to us, that means Eastern Palace is our third pendant, doesn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, that's good to know, actually.
Hint for something he already knows. Always the best.
A magic cape will get etium through Spike Cave if he's... or I guess when he goes back to the mountain, if he really wants to.
Yeah, Spike Cave is logic with the cape and the half magic.
I believe it was also logic with the cape and the bottle, but Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. He's got both.
Yeah.
And for Chad asking, the Moon Pearl was in the dark room in the sewers.
Oh, that really paid off for etium, and Jedders did not. So that's not good for Jedders at all. I feel like that was a pretty big moment in this race.
Does make me wonder where that lamp is, though. I'm not a fan of the item by any means, but it seems like there aren't that many places left it can be.
Jedders just killing everything instead of doing the damage boost. And nothing. Very disappointing Eastern Palace for Jedders.
Okay, so our lamp is in the C-shaped house, which means that you were expected to get here as a bunny to grab that item to go back and get your Moon Pearl. I'm sure that works out somehow, but you know more about that than I do.
Logic, there's a glitch with the mirror that lets you get Soup Bunny if you use the mirror on the same frame you enter a door, and that is in logic. So you can get stuff in the C-shaped house if you have the mirror on your bunny.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I've seen runners do that for the Meyer shed in No Major Glitches logic. Just didn't think to me to apply that to other places because you're hardly ever the bunny in other parts of the Dark World.
Jedders having fun with screen wraps. Too much fun. He had to quit.
He was trying to use his overworld map to get a grasp of where he actually was, but he was somewhere on the pyramid, and that's about all he could figure out, I guess.
And he is trying to do spoon speed facing against a wall, which doesn't work. If you're within range to grab it, it won't work, because the grab will override the dash.
Looked like he was near the graveyard ledge, or at least the Dark World mirror spot for it. On the other side, we do have etium in Thieves Town.
He screwed up, and he's in infinite scroll, had to reset.
That's unfortunate. He did just save and quit, though, after that failed excursion down into the lower Dark World, so just like when etium infinite scrolled earlier, not the biggest time loss in the world. But yeah, I was saying etium is in Thieves Town, which is a dungeon, and as the tournament name implies, you can use glitches in the overworld. Dungeons aren't the overworld, so no glitches here. This is going to just be a straight up no major glitches clear of Thieves Town.
Jedders could have just used the flute to reset his camera instead of trying to go west, so not quite sure why he didn't do it.
May not have occurred to him with the stereotype of the flute being useless in an overworld glitches mode.
Oh, now he's using the flute, he realized. Yeah, I agree with Michael that he seems to have knowledge of all the glitches, but doesn't have the experience required to know exactly when to use them. It takes a lot of practice to get that down, because there's a lot of options in glitch logic.
Yeah, sometimes just too many of them. And shoutouts to having to do the weird Thieves Town routing so you don't have a glove.
Yeah, that's always fun. I'm not sure why Jedder... Oh no, it's because he doesn't have Pearl. Never mind. Doing a weird DMD because of that.
Yeah, this is the one that the logic intended them to do.
Normally, if you had Pearl, you could go down Death Mountain a lot easier with spin speed or mirror. Even without Pearl, you can do the mirror one a lot easier than that screen wrap. So I'm not sure why he tried that. And he's killing himself to get the dungeon revival glitch, which will turn him back into regular Link.
Yep. And that's just a minor glitch, so those of you that play glitchless logic, you can do that in Ice Palace if you really want to. If you get yourself a Mitts and Fire Rod before the Moon Pearl.
And I was hoping etium would do the LSD blind glitch, but apparently not. I'm always a fan of that.
He's got that big shield to block fireballs, and he's not using it. Well, I guess it did block a couple, even if it wasn't really intentional.
Yeah, the shield is not very useful in this game.
Not at all, except in a couple specific situations.
They thankfully made it much better in like later games, especially the 3D games, where it's designed for you to actively use it, and that's a lot better for blocking stuff than just hoping your shield is pointing in the right direction. Jedder's doing a death warp.
We do have a crystal 41.5 minutes in. Definitely a big departure from the spoiler log races I've been talking about a lot recently.
Etium grabbing Burna, which is necessary in logic possibly for a couple things that require invincibility, like the laser bridge or spike cave. But he already had the cape, so it's just a better option for invincibility. Unless you're using the magic cape glitches that let you use it basically infinitely.
Yeah, Burna is more magic efficient over the long run, and it does damage with the little aura around it. The big downside is you can't sword spin while using it.
Burna is great for blind, and the cape is great for a couple things like Vitreous or the tile room in GT. You can completely cheese out with.
Yeah. Cape's also a lot better for Master Sword Ganon because of the spin requirement.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like Skull Woods was a total bust on Jedder's side. I think there may be an item in the back, though. I didn't get a good count on it. Here's Hype Cave, though. With all the items we're still looking for at this point, surely there's no way this location is a bust.
Oh yeah. It's called Hype Cave. How could it not be good? Look at all that hype.
Yeah, how useful are the power gloves in Overworld glitches?
They're still pretty useful in Overworld glitches. They let you get into with the hammer. That you get into some warps. You need them in a couple dungeons. Like you can't finish Ice Palace without them.
Yeah, that's fair. And that is crystal, so. On the other hand, how useful are the Titan's mitts? They don't seem useful at all.
I don't think they are generally necessary, but they can make things. They can let you access a few warps and shortcuts, but they're not really necessary because you can do clips and stuff to get around all the requirements. They are required in logic for Ice Palace, but there's a screen wrap you can do to get in without them. Mirror wrap.
So I guess not that bad at a height cave.
Yeah.
And with the most of the escape sequence already clear for etium, I got to imagine this is the Aghanim play from.
Yeah. He's going for it. There's no reason to go in the front otherwise after he's already cleared it out.
Wonder if he wants that cane now more for Turtle Rock or for if he can get into Misery Mire.
He can absolutely do Misery Mire once he gets the cane.
Well, that assumes Bombos is the medallion, right?
Oh, yes. Making wild assumptions here.
Then, yes, for chat. Dark room clears without the lamp are 100% absolutely out of logic, even in glitched modes.
Yeah.
So that lamp that Jedders just picked up is logically necessary to get to the Moon Pearl.
But sometimes going out of logic pays off big time. And Jedders didn't get trying to get the Super Bunny glitch for the chest game.
I think he's running the charity. He paid the guy and then just walked out.
Yeah, he paid before checking if he had Super Bunny active, so he couldn't open the new chest.
Got his money back though, so maybe he's running a pyramid scheme instead. If I remember correctly, there's only a couple more dark. Oh no, that was the last dark room on the tower for etium, so he's climbing slowly and no major glitches style, but he is.
Etium making good progress out there, and Jedders seems a bit lost and foot.
I do think that lamp will point him in the right direction after this save and quit.
Let's hope.
Or maybe not, unfortunately. Oh no, wait. That lamp also will let him clear Tower of Hera, so we'll be able to see what's upstairs there.
Going for the hair clip. So you all like tile rooms?
Yep. Cutscene tile room on one side, effective cutscene Aghanim fight on the other. Let's go. Most exciting moment of the race right here, boys.
Oh, he's doing the Magic Cape wall pull, since he has that. Yeah, if you pull on a wall while you have Magic Cape active, it doesn't drain any magic. And also, while you're slashing, it doesn't drain magic. But since you can't perfectly constantly slash, you will lose a bit of magic spending slashes with it, but it's still a good option in some cases.
Yeah, I've seen that used to good effect, for example, in Vitreous fights.
Oh yeah, Vitreous, you can just get right up in that damaging goop and spam your swords.
Anyways, while these runners are clearing out these relatively straightforward known things, I'm going to go ahead and shout them. If you like what you're seeing, their Twitch links are in chat, give them follows, because they're putting on the show for you guys tonight.
Putting on a Death Warp show.
Yeah, but that's the best way to get back to the front of Hera. I guess he had the mirror, but he was already low health.
Yeah, if you're low on health, still probably faster than menuing, and you got more health back.
Right. And also, shout out to our tracker Samimus, keeping everything in order on the lights at the bottom for you guys.
Jedder's kind of doing a slow way of doing the... But it works. Looking forward to Troll Orm.
He's got a hammer, so it's not nearly as bad as it could be. If he didn't have that, he'd be guaranteed to trigger the Enraged type.
Yeah, Hammer Mold Orm is, I think actually... Oh, he's got the gloves. That's nice for him. Boom. Oh, he's feeling really dumb now. He's like, oh, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, but at the same time, he got a glove and he knows it's there now.
Yes.
He also knows that he can use that glove to fall into the back of the sewers. One of those items is guaranteed to be the small key because he didn't grab it in the front, and he can use that to just walk right back to the dark room that way.
He's doing the vanilla way. Oh, ice rod. That's nice if he has to do total lock. But he's doing the vanilla way of getting the big chest instead of doing the bomb.
Nothing wrong with that at all, especially because if you do screw up your setup for the bomb jump, that's a 2-floor drop. Nobody wants that.
I usually just use the spin buffering approach, which isn't the fastest way, but it's very easy and reliable. Yeah, he's going for the hammer roll one. Oh, he bumped against him and he got knocked out.
Yeah. I'm not sure if what he was going for the spin there. I don't know how that lines up with. Oh, that's harsh.
Yes. Oh, he fell.
He got middle hold. That's not like this, man.
Not a good way to fall.
But I'm not sure what that spin that he got on Moldorm with the fighter sword actually does to the damage.
He tried to do the fast dash past the bumper, but he was a bit too high, so he fell in the pit.
Yeah, the lineup for that is deceptively tough. And I say that it already looks tough, so.
It's 4 pixels wide vertically, I think.
And then, yeah, Michael clarifying in chat for me that because of that spin that Jedders had on Moldorm with that sword after he dropped in, he would have been guaranteed for speed phase.
Yeah, normally you just need 2 or 3 hits with the hammer. I think it's 3.
3 hammer hits will get you no speed phase, but 2 hammer hits and a sword spin will get you speed.
Yeah. So when he's at like 1/6 of his max health.
Right. But this time through, he doesn't spin, he just gets the 3 hammer hits, no speed phase, easy game, easy.
Nice and clean this time.
I mean, etium's going to be... I won't say right behind him because we're going to have to sit through another tile room. But there he is. And it looks like Jetter's going for the back of the skate here, taking the flute instead of the save and quit route.
Yeah, he's going to drop in the grave, grab the items from the back, and then grab that much needed pearl. And start plundering the Dark World.
Etium already showed us, I think the items were useless. I saw the small key and I saw the 300. If I remember correctly, the last one was a heart piece.
And he can bonk that wall instead of bombing. I'm not sure which is faster, actually. I feel bonking would...
Bonking's probably faster, but it increments your bonk count in the credit stat, so who would want to do that?
Yeah. The shame counter.
Yeah, just backtracking through the sewers rooms. You very rarely see runners actually do this, but...
It's sometimes necessary in open, though. Because open can expect you to go in through both ends to get everything.
Right. So I think as etium gets the Moon Pearl hint, the only outstanding hint we have that actually, like the only hint we've seen so far that's actually useful is still the unique item in Turtle Rock one. We saw the Moon Pearl hint. I guess we saw the Super Bomb being dead hint, which is useful, but it doesn't actually give us any checks that we want. And then the other hints have just been pretty useless. The Pearl we already knew, and there was a green hint in Aghanim's Tower.
Then is going for the north of Kakariko Warp. He has to take the long way around since he doesn't have the mitt.
No, but once he does get around to it, he'll be able to get into Thieves Town, so...
And all the other juicy rewards around it.
Yeah. Actually... he can get into every Dark World dungeon except the back of Skull Woods and maybe Misery Mire, if I'm understanding right.
Yeah, it depends on what the Misery Mire medallion.
I'm sort of surprised we haven't seen that checked alongside Mire Shed from either runner at this point, but who knows? I guess that is only potentially just 2 checks and probably not as fast as some of the other things they've been doing.
And there's the checkerboard cave there too that they haven't done.
Right, and if you clip into the Mire area itself, that's an easy mirror instead of having to clip to it specifically. Looks like it is Mire area for etium and just taking the glitchless way, not even bothering to clip.
Yeah. Let's see what the medallion is. Oh, let's see. So they need to find another medallion if they want to get in.
Maybe the key will be under the welcome mat.
Yeah, I have seen a medallion from Mire in the Mire area. It was in a run I watched had it in it was Bombos, and I think Bombos was in the checkerboard cave. That was funny.
Yeah, seems like one of those classic rando placements. Same with the Turtle Rock medallion in Super Bunny Cave.
I think one of the worst I've seen recently is one of the daily challenges had the Ganon's Tower Big Key on the right side and the Cave of Samaria on the left side. So that was a good one.
Yeah, that's just silly. We're gonna see Lanmola's kill from etium here as soon as he gets back into the room. He's gonna have to watch, what is that, 17 seconds of wall moving?
Oh, yeah. I wish they'd make these walls faster in Rando as the quality of it. But there are reasons not to do that. Heart container in Misery Mire. Exciting. Doing Landmill with the rod. It's not a bad choice. He's got a half magic and full bar. And it does, I think, tempered damage.
Does the same damage as the fire rod. So 2 hits per worm. Pretty sure it's the developer intended strat too.
Possibly. You can get a sword before there. But there's also arrows before the room, which makes me think arrows might be an intended strat. Because those do pretty good damage as well.
Arrows are the fast strat, but they're hard to use and they make NMG obnoxious.
Yeah. In Rando though, you can get silver arrows before Landmo, which makes it really nice.
Yeah, that's always fun. And the fire rod kills themselves are just really smooth as well with how fast that projectile is.
and Jedders gets to actually lift the rock instead of killing everything in the room or just goes to Thieves Town.
So that's a little bit faster on his side, which is sort of thing he needs at this point with some of the struggles he had earlier in the sea.
Definitely. Going for the big chest.
Yeah, unfortunately, we already know there's absolutely nothing of value in here.
Oh yeah.
But as a rando player, you really can't just willy-nilly skip locations like that, especially if they're in the way. That'll bite you way too often.
Oh yes. If you're still looking for items, you pretty much always want a full clear, unless you're dipping. Oh, etium doing the one of my favorite clips from West Dark Death Mountain. That's a very convenient one.
The way that he just sort of slid up the side of the mountain there while spinning almost looked like dancing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you roll from right to left through the bottom, and it just progressively pushes you to the right somehow.
Grab the pot though, which means that he can't bonk off. It's got to reset that cave.
Yeah. And no LSD blind from Jedders either. Very sad. Etium getting Super Bunny Cave without being Super Bunny.
Yeah, Jedders did this earlier, so we just know that it's just another 40 rupees for him.
It's a lot faster with the Pearl though if you just go, because you just go in the back.
Right. And that's the efficiency he gained from just adding that one check at a convenient time, even if it wasn't in logic. And this clip should get him in Turtle Rock, if I recall correctly, right?
Yes, he's jumping down onto the middle. And he's going into Mimic Cave.
Aside from those 2 fire rod chests at the start and Trinex himself, he can get every chest in Turtle Rock. So whatever that unique item is there, we're probably going to see.
Oh, there's a good chance.
And there aren't that many unique junk items left.
Jedders doing Fruitless Mire. And mirroring for the Checkerboard Cave.
He doesn't have the mid, so he has to do it this way.
Garbage.
The good news is that by mirroring back normally, the seizure effect is gone.
Yep. I think you can also fix it by opening and closing your menu, but obviously that takes time, and you gotta go fast. Oh no! You tried to be flashy with the mirror clipping and the mirror block erasing and the screen. You gotta go back in.
Didn't mash hard enough.
Mimic Cave is in the Death Mountain region, but I'm certain the logic depends on Turtle Rock logic too.
Yeah, the Ganon, if the silver arrows are in Mimic Cave, Ganon will ask if he found the arrows on Death Mountain.
I'm just going off what I've read in the code.
Right.
Getters, oh no, we missed the key dash. That's very sad.
I think he stepped forward a pixel out of the door, and that's what botched it for him?
Yeah.
Because you can line up key dashes fairly easily by just not moving at all right out the door, if you're just dashing straight through the room to another door like in that room.
Well, he had to pick up the key from the pot, so I guess he didn't properly line himself up along the wall before he did the...
Oh, right. I forgot about that key, but you can line it back up there by just holding down while you...
Yeah, just push on the wall.
Because the trick to key dashing is that you've got to be a multiple of 4 pixels away, and it's an exact thing. If you're 1 pixel off, or 3 pixels off the other way, you'll bonk.
Yeah, because dashing moves you at 4 pixels a frame, which is why... Oh, he's doing the hammer approach, which is not the best choice, given his items.
Yeah, with Ice Rod and Half Magic, that's probably going to be more effective for him in the short run, but Hammer's what he's chosen. He had a good first phase. I think he got 3 hits on the one that he just killed.
Yeah, it was good at first, but...
It's just that the rest of them are problematic.
Etium messed up the trick he was going for there. Locked himself out. Ooh, bow. That's nice. That opens some good stuff up and can clear out Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, did somebody say unique item?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Jedders is done with his Landmola kill now, so that's going to be his 3rd crystal, actually, putting him back on par with Etium in that count.
Etium hurting pretty hard, so he got the refills for health and...
And he used that blue cane as well to avoid some damage from the spinning firebar.
Laser bridge time. Just gonna use the blue...
He's got the mirror shield.
Just using Burna is faster. With half magic, it just lasts the entire way through. Oh, hookshot. That's a nice one.
Did somebody say unique item in Turtle Rock?
Yeah, for sure. Now he can, he's got Swamp Palace, Golden Logic if he needs to.
And I've got to imagine that'll be the next playthrough. Well, no, maybe not, 'cause it is a pendant dungeon.
It's still got 6 items, so might have that fire rod he needs so much.
Yeah, 6 checks, but the absolutely dreaded left side.
Yeah. At least it's not a Misery Mire left side. That's just the worst.
I can't agree with that one.
Oh.
Misery Mire at least only locks 1 chest behind the cutscenes.
I guess what's the point there? I just absolutely hate sitting there and watching it for like a minute, just hearing it grind off screen.
Yeah, I feel the same way about the water flooding cutscenes in Swamp Palace. Is Etium trying to get into Ganon's tower?
Yeah, yes he is. Doing the GG clip.
Alright, and with that cane he can check the right side as well.
If he does the right side bomb jump, he can do it all without the fire rod. It'd be interesting if he does that.
Does skip Tile Room as well, which is a play he could have made.
He's doing Hope Room and then left side, which is fairly standard, especially considering he doesn't have fire rod. Probably hoping he can find it on the left side.
Yeah, and that'll just make it that much more efficient.
Of course, there's always a chance it's just sitting right in the tile room, but that's how Rando gotta take these gambles sometimes.
Yep. And you mentioned earlier that Overworld Glitches does not use the jump fill for Ganon's Tower, so we've got a lot of checks here, and Tile Room is a legitimate play.
Wow, that's a lot of keys back in there. Was that all keys? 4 keys?
I think it was just 3. Yeah, there was a map in the bottom left chest.
Oh, yeah. Bonking for speed. Very nice.
But there are 4 small keys in chests in Ganon's Tower, and 3 of them were in that room.
Yes, he's got a lot of the dungeon items up front, which means he'll be, trying to do a fancy boomerang thing.
That's
cool.
Time.
And then he's gonna do the hook shot thing with the peg. Yes. Oh, he did it from the wrong side. Yeah, you gotta be standing on the right side so you can move to the right.
Still got the iframes and didn't take damage though, which is, in my opinion, the most important part of that strat.
I bet you'd like to have more bombs. But that's a fun hint to get in Ice Palace, where you're using a billion bombs. Especially if you're doing it like with less than tempered and you want to use the bombs for some of the penguin rooms.
Yeah.
It's very mean.
And there's a certain runner, I won't name names, but whenever I read that hint, I read it in his voice.
Oh, that's cool. Bonking over the warp tile saves a bit of time. And then, of course, he's gonna do the bonk across the little gap there. So much easier than walking the invisible bridges.
Yep. It's just a shorter path, even if you had the invisible bridge memorized. So now Etium has potions in all 3 colors after finding 2 bottles in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. Good for glitching. Although he won't be doing any of the Underworld ones, obviously.
Can't quite get the quick kill on Ice Armos, but
Yeah.
2 extra arrows.
Still pretty good, just a little bit sloppy at the end. And there's that very important big key. But he's going to keep clearing because he still needs items, and there's a good chance that they're in here.
Yep. The big chest will be his next check. And then we'll see if he goes tile room or upstairs.
He's going to go for the tile room. And then what I'm wondering is if he's going to stop after tile room or if he's going to try the bomb jump to clear out the rest of the right side.
I would give the bomb jump at least 1 or 2 tries, but it's pretty stressful with that wall master in that room.
And he's doing the beautiful cape cheese for this room, which makes it so.
That poor bunny beam has no idea what it's doing.
Usually I let the bunny beam hit the doorway before I come out and start caping. So he's going to get bunny beamed after this is all over.
And then if he waits until all the tiles finish to uncape himself, he's going to get bunny beamed and not be able to open the chest, which means he'll have to either take damage off the anti-fairy or something, or just wait it out.
Shovel. A single check. Beautiful. And he's not doing the bomb jump. He's gonna go ahead and climb. It's entirely possible the fire rod is on the upper floors, which would be very nice.
Yeah, and if you haven't practiced that bomb jump, it's not easy at all. In chat asking what was on Lumberjack. Lumberjack was the Cane of Samaria, And if I recall correctly, there were 8 blue balls. So, fun times.
Yeah, and Bo was in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, unique item in Turtle Rock and paying dividends. Oh, I think Catfish on Jedder's side is actually a new check here.
Oh, yes.
Maybe this will be the Fire Rod.
Could be something good. Fire Rod or Ether. Or just a red rupee. Yeah, Bow and Hookshot were in Total Rock, so either of them could have been what the hint was referring to.
When in doubt, it was referring to both, even though that's totally not how the hint system works.
Yep.
Because the point is, the hint led them to Turtle Rock, and they got both of them there.
And it's gauntlet time for etium. Yeah, YBA is not allowed in or glitches runs normally. No door glitches, exploration glitch, wrong word.
Isn't there at least one instance of using bottle into a screen transition that's useful on the overworld, or am I
yes,
mistaken?
you can do a fake flute in overworld glitches. That's allowed,
I guess
and that lets you get to various places like the normal flute locations, and it also puts you in a glitched link state, which lets you do stuff without pro.
But I guess that doesn't really fall under the umbrella of YBA glitches.
No, even though it's basically the same principle, but doing it on the underworld allows a lot more. YBA is Yuzuhara's Bottle Adventure, which is a glitch that is performed by going into transition and using a bottle on the same frame. It's named after Bottle Adventure and Reverse Bottle Adventure from Ocarina of Time. They're both glitches involving bottles, but they do fairly different things.
So really, when you think about it, Ocarina of Time just continued the tradition of bottles being the most broken item in the game.
Oh yeah.
It did not start it, though, and that's the important part.
It was found first in Ocarina of Time, though. So, they both have their claim to fame in that regard.
Yeah. Anyways, looking down the tracker here, I think the only items we're missing for Go Mode are just the Fire Rod to get into the back of Skull Woods and Ether to get into Misery Mire. Am I right?
Yeah, that's all etium needs.
Jedders obviously needs a couple more things, but after picking up this cane, he'll find that bow and hookshot whenever he makes his way into Turtle Rock, and that would put him back on parity.
Yep.
And then good lamp strats from etium in that
Yes.
second torch room.
Oh, and there's Ether. Lucky him. So he's very close to Go Mode.
And that means we know 100% the right side of the Ganon's Tower basement is not going to be required this seed. The best thing it could have for these runners at this point is a sword.
Could have silvers. Those would always be nice.
Yeah, I guess at this point either of those would be nice. Although I have a hunch that these runners would rather have a third sword than silver arrows. Although both would obviously be the fastest.
Validation chest time. And it's a rupee.
Just vanilla in that chest. And on Jedder's side, we've been seeing a very glitchless logic style clear of the North World area, taking the blacksmith on the usual tour.
Yep. Just going around grabbing what he can and taking the blacksmith with him. And now he's gonna deposit him at Kakariko.
And to
Eddie and playing ping pong.
I think that was a triple for him. But to answer chat's question about the Ganon's Tower despawns, the despawn is triggered by going up the staircase to the torch room. Or no, after the torch rooms. Wait, I'm getting mixed up. The staircase is between the two torch rooms, and you despawn if you go up the stairs on the same frame that the last torch in the first room goes out and shuts the door.
Yeah, when it plays the, it's a transition glitch. When it plays the door closing jingle, that's a transition, and when you go up the stairs, that's a different transition. And when you do them both together, it corrupts the transition and doesn't load stuff up.
And if it does happen to you, your only recourse is to mirror. Even if you could hover the Moldworm 2 gap, Aghanim 2 will not.
Yeah, it's very bad. There's also, you can do the same thing sometimes in Ice Palace, but that's right near the start. So that's not nearly as bad as the Ganon's Tower one, which is right at the end.
Yeah, and the Ice Palace despawn you're referring to requires you to kill optional enemies, so you run into that a lot less often.
Vader is coming to finish Turtle Rock.
He's going to sit through the Bombos animation to open the front door. I wasn't paying particular attention to the key layout because etium entered from the middle, but I'm not sure he'll be able to get in very far without leaving and going flipping back into the middle.
Well, we'll wait and see. If he gets lucky, he can get through it.
Chat's asking if etium has to open Ganon's Tower with Aghanim 2 already dead. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that as long as you have the 7 crystals and you've killed Aghanim 2, you can hurt Ganon. Actually watching the tower open cutscene does not matter at all.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. You will pretty much never watch that cutscene in glitched logic.
Yeah, even in the best case scenario, well, yeah, the best case scenario for glitch logic is doing Tower of Hera as your last crystal. And even then, I'm pretty sure it looks like the clip is still faster than watching the cutscene.
And Jenner's got the big key, so hopefully there's something good for him in the big key chest. Which I do not think etium got on his run through because he went in through the.
I think you're right there, actually. If that check is the fire rod, we have a race on our hands again.
Oh yeah, that could be really good for him. He's going for Mimic Cave first, of course.
There is that third sword for etium, so no Master Sword Ganon for him.
Getters didn't move the Mimic down low enough to hit.
It looks like he's buffering with the boots to move the Mimic. I'm not sure if he doesn't know that you can grab the rail and move them that way, or if he just wanted to show that off.
I don't know. And here's the big moment. And Swolky. Very.
And I think, well, I was going to say I think etium may be able to figure that out if he was counting his keys in Turtle Rock. But with the 2 fire rod lock chests that he couldn't open, I don't think that's possible, actually.
Finally got the bow.
Gave a bit of a frustration slash to the chest, or maybe a happiness slash. But if you like that, we'll see how he likes the hook shot coming up on Razor Blade.
Etium just walking into turtles.
Yeah. It's Pod. He's got to check all these chests. There's a fourth bottle.
Ooh, got all the bottles.
But he's just... The only thing he really wants to see right now is the fire rod. I don't think he really cares about anything else.
Jedders is using his mirror shield to get the chest.
We mentioned earlier that Berna was faster, which it is, but mostly only because he's losing time to having to spin his sword to release shield. And falling there from bumping the beetle.
Yeah, the Berna would have kept the beetle away.
But we are getting to see things done here exactly as the developers intended. It looks like Etium has run out of checks in Palace of Darkness, so he should be making his way to Helmasaur King as soon as he can get there.
On his way there.
Nothing of real note besides that tempered sword, though.
Grabbing a heart from the left paw.
Yeah, sword beams are nice to have to deal with the crystal switches in these next couple of rooms.
Definitely. Prevents you from having to switch items or use ammo. Jedders finished with as much of Total Lock as he could.
Yeah, so let's see where he goes next. With his bow, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Palace of Darkness as well.
Yeah, he's going for Pod. Not doing Ganon's Tower yet.
That does mean he'll be missing out on that ether for a while longer, but... Well, I guess it really depends. If the fire rod is in Misery Mire, that's obviously really bad. But if it's not, could be okay for him.
Well, Fire Rod and Misery Mire would be convenient for Etium.
Right, just a lot less convenient for Jedders, who's
Yeah.
gonna be going without that ether until he makes his way up to Ganon's Tower.
And holding out his sword to get better range on the hammer. And then just slash it.
Didn't need the range extensions once he got the mask off, because tempered sword, hammer, same damage.
Yep. And the sword is faster, has better range, better frames. Really, besides the damage, the hammer kind of sucks. But sometimes you got.
Yeah, once you have the sword, the only reason to use the hammer is for the things that specifically require it. Like, say, Helmasaur's mask, or pegs.
Is Jedders getting... No, he's swimming it. Have you ever seen someone throw the bomb with her like that before?
Oh, well there's the fire rod with the mushroom spot. I don't even remember where that mushroom was picked up. It must have been in Pod, because I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
But you mean the bomb throw from the bridge over to the ledge?
Yeah. Oh, there's the shroom.
Yeah, that's a... I use that myself. It saves me having to do it after I go through the right side.
Oh, and there's finally a second sword for Jedders.
Jedders never made his way over to the Grove Ledge cave to get...
Cave 45.
Yeah, it's just Etium had that sword 10 minutes in. Jedders just never went and got it.
Yeah, that's been pretty bad for him. Etium's go mode now, so it's going to be hard for Jedders to catch up.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot at this point, especially with him being basically an entire Ganon's tower behind. But we do get to see Go Mode Ice Palace from etium, which is really nice. We're not going to see him touch Swamp Palace. We're not going to see him touch Eastern. And we're only going to see him touch the parts of Skull Woods and Misery Mire that he absolutely has to.
Yeah, you can just rush things now. Oh, that was a little weird with the hookshot there.
So it took us about an hour and a half to get to this stage, but now that we're here, things are really looking good for etium.
See, normally when I do Ice Palace, I bomb the switch and then bomb it again, like he did, like one more time than he did, which gets the switch in the right position for the bomb jump, which you're gonna have to do now. Yeah. Nicer than having to do it on the moving floor. He's doing the spin buffer to get into position. No, he's just using it to line up.
Yeah, there it is. Nice and clean.
Doing hook shots instead of hammer dashes, since he already had it out.
So the meat of Ice Palace is over for etium now with the bomb jump. He's just going to have to drop down a couple holes and he'll be at Cold Stare. Oh, he's going for the spin clip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not the absolutely perfect, optimal, fastest version of it, but still a lot easier than trying to do that room normally, and probably more consistent than the hammer strats.
And he doesn't even need big key.
Yep, just hammer a couple pegs here, fall down the hole that block is covering, and it'll be Cold Stare time.
And let's see if he does the Cold Stare speed strat. How well he does. I can do it a bit, but they always get loose at some point, unless I've got like the gold.
Yeah, it's one of those. I see top NMG runners mess that fight up too.
Yeah.
It's not the most difficult thing, but it can still definitely get away even from somebody who knows what they're doing. It's a lot like Moblin in that respect.
So he used bombos at the start instead of fire rods so that he could have more magic for fire rodding the Cold Stare fluff, which does really good damage against them.
Yeah, Gold Sword damage. Didn't need that many of them because he did get a few slashes in at the start with the Tempered Sword. But worked out in pretty quick fight.
Yeah, not bad. And he had them all bunched up so the fire rod hit a bunch of them too. Oh, Jedders managing to fall off instead of jump. And now the beetle is blocking the way. But that's a little annoying for him.
Yeah, you can't throw bombs over that ledge because that ledge is silly in a lot of ways. A lot easiest just to reset the ring.
And that's what he's going for.
The idea to throw a bomb wasn't a bad one, though. That would stun the beetles, and that's good game knowledge to know that that's a thing. But
yeah,
doesn't work.
Yeah, just that one ledge. And if there's good big key placement, etium can get through Misery Mire really quick since that's all he needs here.
Yep. Let's just hope that it's not on the left side. I don't think we've seen a left side Mire hint though, have we?
We saw the left side swamp hint, I think.
Chat can remind us if we have seen it, and I forgot, so.
Checking the bridge chest first and the spike room.
Yeah, these are the two chests you really want it to be in if you're in go mode.
Yeah, these are the ones I always check.
Garbage in chest number 1.
Jedders having fun with some very annoying turtle.
Yeah. Takes 2 Master Sword slashes to kill them, so they stay in your way for a lot longer than they
Oh,
should.
lucky for etium. He got the big heal ready. He is ready to go.
Yep. Good placement in that room. So, I guess, some runners would like to get it on the bridge and then do something fancy like cover the bridge, but for runners that don't feel the need to do flashy things like that, getting it in the spike room lets you just walk north one room and you're there.
I cannot hover at all, so I would definitely prefer to the spike room.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Helmosaur is standing just right there and letting Jedders machine gun him with the bow. And he goes down really quickly.
Just turning him into a pincushion.
Yeah, I don't know what Helmosaur was thinking just standing there letting that happen, but I'm sure Jedders isn't complaining. And on Etium's side, we saw the muscle memory of hitting the switch in the spike room, which meant that he had to hit the switch in the next room after that, behind the bombable wall.
That's an easy mistake to make. Usually, you're not rushing through, so you'd have the switch set already, but if you are rushing through, then you just need to leave it as is.
Right, and like you said, really easy mistake to make. You can chalk that one up to pure muscle memory.
And I loved watching him just dash back and forth across the small eyes with his cape. That was a good...
Yeah, I'm a fan of that strat myself. So, does complete the dungeon item collection in Misery Mire, though, with that map drop.
Yep. And, oh, Jedders did not do the spin referral.
And that makes 6 crystals for Etium, while Jedders tries to clip up on to get to the east side of the mountain.
Yeah, he's pressing the down right for it too late. It's pushing him out because he isn't getting it. There, he got it. And then he's just doing a little jig to get over.
And yeah, there it goes. East side of Dark Death Mountain. Although, well, I guess with the hookshot now, he can go get the rest of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, looks like that's what he's doing. Ooh, silver arrows. That's a big one. It's not enough to make up for the difference, but it's something. And if he plays well, you can definitely get a lot more with the silver arrows.
Especially since there's a good chance at this point we don't see Jedders get a third sword. So having those silver arrows will save him a significant amount of time in the Ganon fight when he gets there.
Oh yeah, silverless Master Sword is just awful. It's 52 spins total.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a rhythm to it for sure, and if you get into that rhythm, it's not a bad fight from a difficulty standpoint, but it's just long and tedious, and I don't think anybody ever actively wants to do it.
That's how he's getting spin speed to rush back out.
Did take every bit of his magic, but got out unscathed.
Jet and etium missing some fire rod shots, but not too much.
Yeah, just falls back on his sword, which does more damage, and that's going to be his 7th crystal. And with Aghanim defeated, all he's going to have to do is save and quit, and he'll be back on top of the pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
On the other hand, His magic situation's a lot questionable for dropping into a Ganon fight, but he does have... Yeah, he's got potions.
He's got a bunch of potions. He'll be fine.
Yep, 2 blues and a green, and then a red on top of that for good measure.
So he's going to do Ganon tempered silverless.
I don't think I've seen that Ganon text before, have you?
I have, yes. There's a bunch of different ones.
I guess, is it new to whatever the latest version is? I don't remember if it's 30 or 31 anymore.
It's like 30.4 or something right now. But I know some have been added recently, I'm not sure which one.
Or maybe I've just been watching too much of the spoiler log tournament. They did some silly things with the Ganon text in that tournament.
Etium doing the first 2 phases of Ganon very nicely.
Yep. I think he got the 1 cycle on both, it looked like, so that's the best you can ask for there.
Yeah, with tempered. It's really good.
Also means that that 4th sword would have saved him exactly no time in this fight.
Getting ready to do the torch glitch since he's doing silverless. Baiting the bat and then just mashing it.
Yeah, half magic means mashing's all you gotta do. And he's 10 slashes away from victory now.
Yep. So 5 more cycles. If he lands them all.
I missed that one,
yep.
But still got that last one to get to on that cycle. Yeah, I missed another one because he's standing a bit far away from Ganon, but better to play cautious and miss a spin or 2 than to play too aggressive, get hugged.
Yeah. He's trying to get the teleports when you light it before he shoots the bat, but he's just missing some of those. Oh, he got it. Nice.
Yep. So
That's
as soon as that bridge spawns, he'll be done. So get your GGs in chat.
And that's a very nice run from Etium.
Yep, he finishes in first place in this race with a time of 1:52.42. And for chat asking about the Fire Rod, Ether, and Samaria locations, Fire Rod is at the Witch's Hut. The Mushroom was in Palace of Darkness. Ether is up in the top of Ganon's Tower in the Helmasaur room. And Samaria was at the Lumberjack. Jedders actually has that, it's just not lit up on the tracker, which happens sometimes.
Yeah, Jedders lifted the pot in front of the anti-fairy a bit too early, which results in it bouncing around a lot longer.
And while Jedders clears the bottom of Ganon's tower and gets his big key here in the next room, Etium will be in for an interview in a couple minutes.
Jedders just continuing a very standard Ganon's Tower clear.
And now we do have Etium with us. So, GG, how you feeling after that?
Hey, that was a fun seed. I'm glad I sequence broke that Moon Pearl because the way to get it in Logic, I'm not sure I actually knew the tricks for that. Because the lamp was in Village of Outcasts. So you would have had to use the mirror and do the clip down Death Mountain, I think.
Yeah, mirror clip down the Death Mountain at the Broken Bridge, and then use Mirror Super Bunny on the door.
I suppose the other way would have been to fake flute. Which
I'd like
actually,
to. I'd like to take a sec to announce that Jedders has opted to forfeit from the race after seeing the dot done from you, Etium.
yeah,
So
I noticed.
that would be why he's been standing in Ganon's tower for a few seconds there.
Yeah, mirror DMD is in logic. Fake fluting is not in logic for overworld glitches, but it is an option.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done because I don't really know the mirror method all that well.
Yeah, Jedders did a kind of weird mirror DMD instead of the standard one at the Broken.
And it did get him to the lamp, but it was just unfortunate for him because it was a lot less efficient of a routing.
Yeah, and he did that infinite scroll glitch one time.
Yeah, I think I did that once or twice.
Yeah, we got to see one of those. That was fun.
I think you only did it once, and it was immediately after you save and quit from the hammer, anyways. And we do have Jedders in with us now, so.
Hello, Jedders.
Hey,
Hello.
GG.
That was quite the moon pearl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? So how did you feel after you saw the hint for the moon pearl?
I was like, of course it's there. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's got to be a bad feeling.
It's rando for you.
Yeah.
And it's a perfectly valid choice to pass up the dark room, because there's a good chance we won't be able to go past through it to the back room. But it just didn't play off this time.
Yeah, I decided to go in there in the dark, and that really paid off. I really wanted to find the lamp first because I knew Aga was going to be required. So I was kind of staying away from dark rooms, but yeah, I decided to just do that one and then maybe make it through to the back of Escape. And I just got the Moon Pearl and was like, okay, I am noping out right now.
Yeah, I feel that was really the turning point of the race.
Yeah, I completed the seed, I think, as intended, which was very not friendly.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it's been so long since I've done that mirror DMD. Is that what you did?
I think it was required that you had to pretty much. Well, I guess not if you went out of logic, but yeah, I did that. I found I had to super bunny into what was it, Sea House that had lamp, or
Yeah.
was it? Yeah,
yeah, I think it was Sea House.
yeah, which then led me to the gloves, and then I was like, oh wait, there we go. Because I got the hint in Hera that the Moon Pearl was in the sewers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that kind of surprised me was how you did the mirror DMD, because usually, obviously the Broken Bridge is the standard way, so doing it like that Pyramid Fairy style descent is a little...
Oh right, I forgot you could do that, but yeah, that would work just as well.
Yeah, I was expecting the worst. I was expecting like Moon Pearl to be on like Pyramid Ledge, so I went there first. And then it didn't turn out to be there, so yeah, because the reason why I avoided Dark Cross was I was like, I don't have the lamp, so I expected the moon pearl to show up somewhere else.
Yeah, I definitely did not expect a moon pearl there.
Yeah, I've had a couple of seeds where I expected you to do Mirror Super Bunny to get. Actually, in one case, I even had the pearl in the chest room, so pretty close to this seed.
Yeah, because I mirrored down to Dark World twice. Once to do Skullwoods, and then the second time to clear Village of Outcasts. And it took me a moment to realize what had happened. With the lamp, I was like, okay, well, I don't think there's anything else I can really do in Super Bunny that doesn't require a lot of trickery. So I don't think the answer is anywhere else here. And then I realized the lamp would allow me to finish Hera, so I did that. And luckily, there was a hint there. But I think I would have I think the gloves would have led me to Back of Escape anyway.
Yeah, your routing made sense. I guess I don't know Overworld glitches that well, or the major glitches at all for this game, but from where I was sitting and what I was seeing, your routing made a lot of sense to me in context of the logic. It just didn't turn out as nicely as it really could have, especially with the pearl in that dark room.
Yeah, just dipping out of logic a bit paid off in that one situation.
Yeah. Where was the fire rod anyway?
It was on which
that was-
Yeah, it was on the mushroom, and the mushroom was in pod.
Yeah, I got the mushroom. I probably would have checked that relatively soon after GT.
Yeah, and then
'Cause
you
that's
were
pretty
on
much-
your way up to. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty much all I needed was fire rod and ether, and if nothing showed up in GT, I was gonna just do swamp and ice palace.
Yeah,
Ether would've
Ether was at the top of GT.
Anyways, gentlemen, I hate to cut this short, but we do have Donkey Kong Country 3 race up on this channel starting at the top of the hour. So we need to wrap this up so that we can pass that off to them. So shout outs to etium and hXcjedders for giving us this race.
Yeah,
I definitely
good
had fun
race.
watching it.
Thanks
Great
to you
time
guys for commentating and tracking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Sam was our tracker tonight. So shout outs to them as well.
and thanks for letting me come on to comment.
Yeah, I appreciate you providing the glitch knowledge that I didn't have.
And I appreciate you providing the commentary I didn't have.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been Reg. My partner tonight's been Shiku. The runners have been etium and hXcjedders. There is Donkey Kong Country 3 on this channel coming up in about 5 minutes. There's going to be Zelda 1 Randomizer on this channel at 11 p.m. Eastern. And there's going to be Zelda 1 100% No Up plus A on SpeedGaming 2 also at 11 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested in any of those, check them out. Follow SpeedGaming, follow SpeedGaming 236, the usual spiel. And good night, everybody.
Good night.